You're in the hallway of Georgian College in Barrie, Ontario. It's a typical college scene, but there's a twist. At Georgian College, students who run out of money can actually find food in this hallway. Amy Frost is president of the college food bank.
The Food Locker, it's a student-run food bank accessible for Georgian College students. And what they do is they email us saying that they need food, and we provide them with a week's worth of food in a food locker. And we send them the locker combination, and we never see their face or know their name, and then come pick it up.
Finding money for tuition, food, and other living expenses can be a challenge, Frost says, who knows firsthand what it's like to have no money and no food.
Yeah, at the beginning of the first school year, I was signed up for OSAP, and there's a wait period between when your semester starts and OSAP deposits the money into your account. So for that time, I didn't have any money. I just paid tuition, and my cupboard had, I think, a can of tuna, maybe some soda crackers, and I was just making it through, and I was counting how many days I had left to, within the food I had in my cupboard, and I was just actually hoping and praying that, the OSAP would come in.
This, says Frost, is a common story among many post-secondary students who now have the added stress of the recession.
A lot of students are having trouble finding jobs to supplement their income. That's one big thing there, because student jobs are being cut at a lot of places, and so less jobs, I guess, just less spending money in general.
And the research supports what she's saying. According to Statistics Canada, in March 2009, young people between the ages of 15 to 24 lost 19,000 jobs across Canada. This pushed the unemployment rate for young people to 14.8%, the highest in 11 years. Since October of 2008, workers aged 15 to 24 have lost a total of 122,000 jobs. Students at Georgian College are eligible for a food bag once a month. And though they have to fill out a financial questionnaire, volunteer coordinator Stefan Corbailo says there's no screening process.
We don't take that into account, and we don't use that for them or against them or anything. It's just so that they can see for themselves where their money's going to, because sometimes it's really easy to live day to day and not really see where your money's going.
So what can students find inside their food bag?
We usually put some canned meat, vegetables, and fruit, 6 cans of soup, some pasta and pasta sauces, usually a snack item and a dessert item or something like that.
Starting a student food bank had been on her mind for a while, Frost says, but the idea sprung into action during a young adults meeting at her church.
We should start something in the community, do something to just get involved and help instead of, just staying with it amongst ourselves. And I was like, well, I've been thinking that the schools needed a food locker. At the point that I brought it up, it was simply an idea, and they really got the ball rolling.
One of the first people to jump on board was Pastor Rick Hancock of Barrie Free Methodist Church.
Actually, the church has been amazing. We put the appeal out. We just shared the vision with our church, and the next thing you know, we've gotten like a food box at the front of the foyer, and people Sunday after Sunday have been filling that.
But the food bank didn't happen overnight, says Hancock. Before student council would approve, they had to meet its requirements.
What would happen if some of the food was old, someone gets sick, so we'd have to get some kind of insurance, as well sustainability. Looking at, do we have enough volunteers? What would the volunteers' roles be? How would we actually structure it so we could keep it anonymous?
The food bank began in January 2009 and helps about 30 to 40 students a month. Now, members of Barrie Free Methodist are trying something new to provide students with a more balanced diet.
As you can see here is that there's no fridges. And so as far as fresh produce, like your fruits and vegetables, and then with dairy products. So what some of our church has just done on their own is they've started to give money towards food vouchers. So now at Zehrs and as well No Frills, they can use these $10 vouchers to go out and get the produce that we wouldn't be able to stock.
But it's not just about food, says Hancock. Having a positive presence in the community is also important.
Get involved in your cities. See where the needs are. Be at the forefront of being able to be the arms and legs of Christ. We want to be relevant in our culture here in the city of Barrie. And so here we are trying to meet a need that Christ would be meeting a need.
And that need, though sometimes hidden, is definitely there, says Corbailo.
There's people out there always more needy than the other. And sometimes you don't even know it, you wouldn't see it to know it. So it's just a great way to have people, if they do need a hand, but they don't want to admit it, then they can come to us, no problem.
With the economic downturn in all of the headlines, post-secondary students are often left out of the conversation. According to Amy Frost, misconceptions about how students spend their money may have something to do with that.
There's definitely an assumption made on the community that students are, everything is paid for either by your parents or by OSAP or by loans, and that we have this cushy position because they have the image that students go out and drink away their money, and that they're spoiled and that there's no plights. But a lot of students are either mature students coming back, they've quit their jobs so that they can go to school, some of them have families, some of them are making it on their own. They don't have a family to support them.
Though the staff doesn't see who's collecting the food, they hope students are also getting a message when they pick up a food bag.
The message is pretty much that when all things seem to be at their worst, that there's always good in places that you wouldn't think about.
Keep trucking, don't, on top of all the stress of school, if you're stressed about what you're going to eat tomorrow, it's not fun.
The staff hopes to expand the food bank, but first they need more space, says Frost.
If we have our own space, eventually we can run a formal food bank where people can come in and take things as they need. Other staff members are thinking about, okay, so now students have these cans of food. What if they don't know what to do with them? What if they don't know how to cook? So we're thinking of having classes for students on how to cook on a budget or cook with canned foods.
Though they have big plans for the food bank, for now, students at Georgian College can still find a helping hand with the simple spin of a locker combination. For more information on the Georgian College food locker, visit crossroads.ca and click on guest information. In Barrie, Ontario, I'm Bridget Antwi for 100 Huntley Street.